But yeah, kind of a no-brainer for that one. Getting next into the afternoon slate, early afternoon. We got the first game, Jaguars in Tampa versus the Buccaneers. I'll let you take this one. I believe we are consensus on this
Yeah, we both got the Bucks. Kind of just saw the Saints lose. We know that NFC South is wide open. Kind of just talked about how the Falcons don't look great and are struggling. So right now, this is the week for the Bucks to take control. This looked like
one.
it was gonna be in the Jaguars' favor, but I mean, it seems like Trevor Lawrence isn't gonna be in there, so that's a huge blow to that team. Like I kind of said all season, I don't think this team's well built around yet. I think they're still missing a few pieces. And yeah, losing Trevor Lawrence is gonna be rough. I think Baker has been looking really good. We saw what he did last week, 4 touchdowns, perfect game, pretty much.
Comeback
Um,
player of the year.
Honestly, he's up there as
He's
much
up
as I
there.
hate to admit it,
Yeah.
but he's definitely probably the leading front runner. I still can't think of another name. But yeah, Bucks have just been playing great. Offensive weapons, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rashad White is finally getting used heavily, and I think they've learned how to use him right. And figuring out the short passes also kind of mix that in with his runs, and it's been looking great, especially for fantasy managers. If you've had him these past pretty much this season, he's definitely been turning it on. So
Yeah.
I got the Bucks. I think they're fighting for first in that NFC South, and they want to make them play for it. And this is the week to get ahead of them.
Yep. You said it. Can't disagree with that one. Um, yeah, who knows? Could be a different conversation. Trevor Lawrence is starting, but I honestly would probably going to take the Bucks even if he did, um, just because the Jags are just they got a lot of questions they need to answer right now with that team. So yeah, unfortunately, they're kind of falling out of that. Originally going into the year, I definitely had them as like a sleeper pick, and in the playoffs, making a good playoff run. But I think it's starting to slip away a little bit, unfortunately.
Luckily, the Texans are just as hurt as they are, so it
Yeah,
looks like they're gonna keep that playoff seed in the home game for the wild card weekend. But yeah, they
yeah,
they definitely look the least scariest team I think right now in the playoffs, and that's the playoffs right now with the Browns and the Bengals in. So
yeah, yeah. But getting into the next afternoon game, we got a pretty good matchup here. Could be one of the more interesting games to keep an eye on. We got the Cowboys versus the Dolphins in Miami. Um, believe we're both taking the Cowboys in this one. Yeah, it was a really rough week last week against the Bills. Um, they kind of just got crushed in the run game, and yeah, Bills just had their number that day. I don't know. This matchup is really weird for me because they kind of both fit that narrative of like, are they good enough to beat actual good teams? So this is like one of the weirdest matchups ever because the Dolphins just can't beat a good team, and the Cowboys just seem to can't beat good teams. So who do you take when two teams that can't beat good teams are playing each other? Um, so yeah, it's weird. It's a weird one, but I'm just leaning more towards the Cowboys on this one. Um, I feel like they have been a little more consistent than the Dolphins have, at least in terms of reliability, um, and actually being able to contend with a good team. I feel like the Dolphins just like like a Cowboys against a good team could be a toss up, but the Dolphins, I'm not going to take the Dolphins if it's like a top five team. You just can't. So just based off of that, I feel like I got to lean towards the Cowboys. Should be an interesting matchup. Definitely. Um, I feel like the Cowboys are definitely favored defensively, much better defense. So just based on that alone, it could be tough for Tua. I think Tyreek was he out last week? I can't remember.
he
Yeah,
was
he was
out
out.
last
Is he going to be in this week?
I'm assuming so. I can't see him missing this
Yeah, I'm
game.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I saw he was going to be there. So them having Tyreek back is going to be big. Uh, we'll see. I don't know that we just watched the Bills and James Cook go nuclear on the ground against the Cowboys, and Mostert's got 20 touchdowns on the year. So I doubt it's going to happen again at that level because Cook almost went for what, like 200 almost? I think it was like 160, 170 or something, damn
Yeah,
near.
that's not.
So I can't see it happening again. There's no way they go back to back. Yeah, I feel like Dolphins' running game is probably better than the Bills, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't see it going back to back. Them getting crushed on the run game like that. So, just everything combined, definitely a hard pick to make, but leaning towards the Cowboys. So I don't know if you had anything else that kind of led to your decision, or if it was kind of the same.
I think I'm pretty much the same. Yeah, these are both teams that kind of just struggle against teams above 500, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Kind of with you, I'm taking the Cowboys just because I've seen them beat the Eagles, and
yeah,
I don't think I've seen the Dolphins beat anyone that I really could call a contender
yeah.
yet. They still got to play the Bills, so that'll be their last test of the season. But
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah, I'm gonna bet on this defense. I love the Cowboys defense. They got gashed on the ground. I like with you. I don't think it happens that bad again this week. Yes, they have a better run defense. But yeah, Tyreek looks like he'll play this week, I think. But still missed last week, coming off an injury, ankle injury, especially when we know who Tyreek is. He's the speedster. He's the one that'll burn you, cook you. Ankle injury is definitely a hard one
Yeah,
for that type of receiver. So, but yeah, this Cowboys team still heating up, I think, in my opinion. CD Lamb's having probably his best season, I think, of his career. Dak is looking like he's having a resurgence. Yes, he kind of dropped off last game against the Bills, but I still think the Bills are probably the hottest team in the NFL right now. Definitely at least top three. Won't say they're the best team, but they're definitely right now the hottest.
I'd agree with that. Hottest, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's just a different matchup. I don't put the Dolphins in the hottest teams. I think they're pretty sure they're on a decent win streak, but it's not
Yeah,
what the Bills have been doing. But yeah, I don't know. I think you pretty much hit most of the points.
yeah,
Cowboys are a little bit more reliable, in my opinion, right now.
yeah. No, I agree. But getting to the last afternoon game of the Sunday slate, I'll let you take this one. Probably not going to be much to talk about. Cardinals versus Bears, and I'm pretty sure we know who we're taking in this one.
Yeah, both taking the Bears. Cardinals are still the Cardinals. They look a little bit better with Colin Murray, still not a top-notch team, but this Bears team, I think their defense is kind of surprising a lot of people. They look really good. Look like a above average defense right now. I don't know if they're just playing hot or if their talents they finally figured it out on defense. What's happening, but that defense is keeping them in games. And like I said last week, Justin Fields in the last 4 weeks, when you're about to make the decision to get him out of there, starts to look like a franchise quarterback. It didn't show it last week, but they didn't play terribly awful that you want him out. But these last 3, 4 weeks, he's been playing pretty great, and they've been winning football games, which if you're a Bears fan, you know that doesn't happen too often. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna keep cheering for the Bears. Makes their offseason a lot more interesting with them having the Panthers pick and what they're gonna do at quarterback. And yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bears. Justin Fields and that defense still they're looking good.
yeah. I definitely agree. So, getting into the Sunday night game, I will be at this game, so
Ooh.
hopefully it's somewhat entertaining. We got the Patriots versus the Broncos. Um, kind of a no-brainer. Broncos on this one. Patriots. I think they, had a decent game last week. I will say, maybe it was just the aspect of the Chiefs. Have been kind of on paper their defense has been, the best it's probably looked in a while, but just have been struggling and been giving a lot of points up. So who knows? Could have just been that, but give them credit. They definitely, played a lot better than, you know, some of the other games during the season. But yeah, I don't see them really being able to replicate 20 points. I mean, it was 17. Close to 20 points again. Um, Definitely, the Broncos defense. I feel like statistically has been playing better than the Chiefs has. While I think the Chiefs have more talent, more on paper, but um, yeah, Russell Wilson, kind of been turning around. Tough loss to the Lions last week. Um, I think they bounce back, and this is a good matchup to do so. Patriots are kind of pretty much done for the year, for sure. Hunting for either Williams or maybe Drake May in the draft, and it sounded like uh, whoever they draft, Mac Jones will probably be the backup unless they try to use him as like trade bait or something. Um, but yeah, they're definitely season's over. Looking to the draft, so kind of just rolling with the motions here at this point. And Bailey Zapp, I'm assuming he's getting the start.
I think so.
Hasn't been horrible, so definitely seeing him in the starting position. Who knows? Not a bad matchup against the Broncos, but I think right now the Broncos are just the better team, and Patriots are kind of irrelevant. So hopefully it's an entertaining game, to be able to watch in person and not just a massive blowout, low score. Or I hope it's either not a huge blowout or like just a snooze, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, just snooze
I
fest.
I can't
So
I can't picture any other way than those two outcomes. It's only those two outcomes.
I mean, I know
Literally.
that's probably what it's going to be, but just
I
for my
think you're just
sake,
hoping for a shootout just so you can see
I
touchdowns and
know,
all
just to see
that.
something fun, right?
Yeah, rather than
Yeah,
just being like, all right, this is 7-6, and like I no one really cares who wins
yeah,
this game.
yeah.
But yeah.
So we'll see, hopefully. But yeah, more than likely it's going to be a snoozer, whether it's a blowout or just a low scoring. But getting into our Monday games, we got three Monday games, three Christmas games. We got the Raiders versus the Chiefs. I'll let you take that one.
Um yeah, we got the Chiefs, and won't lie, now that you said the matchup, I'm kind of second guessing myself. I want to take the Raiders because I mean the Raiders just have always shown they kind of play the Chiefs the best in that division. No matter no one's ever really seen the Raiders as true contenders. I think maybe last year they had a spurt or two, but really they're never looked at as that team that should contend with the Chiefs. And I feel like they always give Chiefs a hard time. And right now, these past few weeks, I'm going to keep saying it. The Chiefs look beatable. We talked about that Patriots game. I don't know if the Patriots played well or if the Chiefs played bad. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, they got the win, but coming off two losses, I kind of thought that was going to be a more dominant win, kind of set the tone again for this team. Definitely, they're not first time in a while. They're not in that first seed, and yeah, they just kind of barely got by the Patriots. I mean, 10-point win, but still, I still thought it would be better. This Raider team is definitely struggling, but I mean, we saw what they did last week against the Chargers. That really bad team, so it's hard to judge them off of that. But they look good, so I can see them carrying that momentum. And like I said, they played the Chiefs well, but it's hard to bet against the Chiefs still, especially against this team. Still got Patrick Mahomes. They're still healthy on that offensive side. I think both sides they're still healthy. I really haven't heard many injuries come from that
Yeah,
team,
no,
so
they've been
they've been really
relatively
lucky.
healthy, yeah, throughout the whole year.
Yeah. So. And like you said, that defense is playing top notch still. So I'm gonna bet on the better defense and Pat Mahomes. I think it's pretty much a no brainer. A little bit. I don't know. Raiders are a weird team to me,
Yeah.
especially in this division game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's tough because obviously, like you said, the Chiefs have just been like weird this year. Definitely look beatable compared to last year, despite having arguably a better defense than last year. Um, and I don't know. This could be the decline of Kelsey. Um, I mean, if you look at it, it's kind of been basically his worst year. Um, Whether that's age or just the offensive scheme, losing the coordinator. Um, I don't know. We've yet to see really a receiver kind of step up to kind of carry some of the load and take the weight off his shoulders. So that might be it too. Um, we definitely know that they won without Tyreek, so we know they can do it. But right now, it's just you could argue the struggles the Chiefs have been at receiver play, and it's kind of really been that. Um, yeah, there's other issues, but that's kind of the leading driving factor right now is receiver play. How many games they've lost off of drops, penalties, just misreads has been unseen. No other team is struggling at receiver like they are. So, yeah, I agree. It is a weird game, but it's just hard to bet against the Chiefs. Especially, I feel like the fact that they went nuclear, the Raiders went nuclear against the Chargers, that it's like all the hype is there right now, and it's just gonna like everyone's gonna be hyping it up. They're expecting expectations super super high, and it's just gonna come crashing down. So I feel like that all the spotlight is on them after going for 63. That they're like, oh, the Raiders are maybe they're not as bad as we thought they were, and I feel like it's gonna they faked this out.
But I feel like because they're playing the Chiefs, they're still looked at as like pure, like 10-point underdogs.
Yeah,
So
no, I get it. I get it. Yeah,
it's weird.
it
like
is
you
weird.
said,
Yeah, like you said, the
bet
Raiders.
against
The Raiders do somehow find a way to just kind of give the Chiefs problems. Just kind of one of those divisional matchups. Just one team just kind of has the other team's number, no matter how good the other team is compared to the others. So, but yeah, it against this caliber of Raiders, it's hard to bet against the Chiefs. It's just hard. So, um, getting into the next one. Normally, we'd probably do this one. I don't know, maybe. Nah, I'd say nah. We'll just do this one now. Maybe if Jake was here, we'd probably save it to the end. But Giants versus the Eagles in Philly should be an interesting matchup. I definitely don't think the Eagles hurt any concern to lose this game, despite how rough it's been. I mean, we just watched them have probably arguably the hardest, 4 games in a row of any team this year. So, got to cut them a little bit of slack. But at the end of the day, they're struggling really hard right now. And it's crazy because they were, rolling throughout the beginning of the year, middle of the season. And then just those 4 games in a row of just tough matchup has just gotten to them. And, they look like a completely different football team. The defense has just been struggling, has been the worst aspect of the team. Arguably, Jalen Hurts has just kind of not been playing the way he's been playing like he did last year. As bad as it is to say it, he's kind of, I don't want to say like he hasn't been picking up the slack of the defense, but I don't know. His QB play is just kind of it's taking a tough turn right now. I think they'll figure it out. They have to figure it out. They need to figure it out. Will they? I don't know, but they definitely need to figure it out. I still think he's arguably top 3, top 4 quarterback to me. Not right now. Right now, no, but I think overall in the league, he's one of the better quarterbacks. I mean, really the only names that I put with him, Mahomes, Josh Allen. I don't want to say Brock Purdy, but off this season you kind of have to. But in terms of actual what we've seen, it's Mahomes, Allen, in no particular order. Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, maybe Lamar,
Joe Burrow. I would take Lamar
Joe
and Joe
Burrow.
Burrow.
Yeah, I'd say Joe Burrow. Yeah, and like not
That might be it.
right now. Hurts has fallen out of that conversation right now, currently, but I still think he's that caliber of a quarterback. Um, but yeah, just the play the last 4 weeks has just been rough for the whole team. I mean, it's not Hurts alone, but the whole team has struggled. Um, but yeah, this is definitely a good bounce back game for them, especially the matchup Giants. Yeah, they've kind of had a few games where they look, you know, they get a spark, they get a kind of a hot streak going, steamroll a team that nobody really thought they were gonna be, playing from that underdog. But this being a divisional in Philly, Eagles finally getting a break of, not playing the top best three teams in the league. Um, yeah, I can't imagine them losing this one. I mean, I really hope not. There's going to be a different conversation if they lose this game, um, and what that looks like for them going into the playoffs. Because if they can't beat the Giants, it's going to be concerning. So I don't know if you had anything for that game.
Not too much more. I think I'm right with you. They shouldn't lose this game. Yeah, they had a real tough gauntlet. Give them props. I mean, they made it past the Bills and the Eagles. No, not the Bills and the Chiefs. They beat the Bills, right? I believe.
Yes.
Or did they lose? Yes, I think they beat the Bills. They beat the Bills and the Chiefs, and still they're the best 2 out of 3 teams in the AFC. The Ravens are third team, wherever you want to rank them, but I think they're top 3. But yeah, they should beat the Giants. This isn't a team that's. I mean, Tommy DeVito's had his games, but he's definitely regressed last game. And this is still a top-notch defense. Yes, Bradbury's been getting cooked. I'm still a fan of Darius Slade. They still have their pass rushers. I don't think many of them are hurt, so I think they're pretty healthy. So this is their kind of get-right game. They got to figure it out because if they don't win this game or if this game isn't closed before the 4th, I think Eagles fans should start to struggle or panic because after this we're 2 weeks away from playoffs. Yes, you guys are locked in because you guys played so well in the beginning of the season, but
Yeah.
you're playing on the road in a playoff game now, and you kind of can't come out flat like how you have been these last few weeks because
Yeah. No.
Seahawks they are kind of a playoff team, but they're not even a shoe-in, and they beat you guys last week on a game you guys probably shouldn't have lost. Yeah, you guys came off the gauntlet. I thought that was going to be your get-right game, but yeah, you just got to make sure this is the get-right game because there's not much season to figure it out left.
Yeah. No. Totally agree. So it should be interesting because I mean, at the end of the day, all that really matters is the playoffs. They could struggle these last 2 games, but if they turn it around come round 1, hey, they turn it around, right? At the end of the day, like you said, they're locked in just with how good they've been doing. So if they can figure it out, at least come for the playoffs, we'll see what they can do. But yeah, definitely don't want to push the panic button yet, but they got to win this game. This is a must win. Cannot lose, just for like mentality's sake too for the team going into the playoffs. If you're losing to the Giants, that's got to take a toll on you mentally. Yeah,
Definitely,
for sure. Especially to the DeVito.
Yeah, you would hear DeVito all week.
Man, the DeVito talk
all week.
The DeVito narrative would be insane, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like
But
he's going against bad teams, and he's been getting so much recognition. If he beats the Eagles, it's over.
If he beats
It is the
Eagles,
Italian takeover.
It's crazy, bro. But our last game of this week, Monday Night Football, arguably game of the week. The 2 conference powerhouses, Ravens of the AFC, Niners of the NFC, in San Fran. So home field to the Niners. I think we're both going to be taking the Niners in this one. As good as the Ravens have looked, we know they've been rolling. I still think Rams should have beat them. It's just a tough overtime loss. That should have been our game. I was so upset. So we've seen them, have their games. They look amazing. Their blowout games. We've seen them kind of struggle, but arguably they might not be top of the AFC if some of these other AFC teams haven't been, having the struggles they have, especially the Chiefs. You know, I feel like the only reason they're winning is because other people are losing, if that makes sense. So are they the true contenders of the AFC? I don't know. Um, we know come playoff time, they seem to just kind of get snuffed. And I don't want to blame Lamar, but just we haven't seen a big playoff run from him. But yeah, this is definitely a testament game. If they somehow beat the Niners, we got to start hats off to them because this could be the year. This could be their year. But the Niners just look disgusting right now. Just the model of like the best all around team at every position. I mean, the only thing that's not like elite is Brock Purdy in terms of like. I mean, I don't know. I'm conflicted with Brock Purdy because I don't know if he could do this with a different team. I don't know. I mean, I can't. I don't want to be like 100% on the. It's only because the Niners, but I also don't want to be on the other side of like, you know, I don't know. I'm conflicted, but defensively, they're phenomenal. Running back Christian McCaffrey could win the MVP if we're being realistic. He's right there. Debo, yards after catch king. Kittle has been top 5 minimum, if not top 3 tight end every year. And Ayuk is pretty damn good too. I think it's the more pure receiver opposed to Debo. And that offensive line is, Trent Williams. He's the heart of that offensive line. He's a monster. Probably the best lineman in the league, arguably. They're just a complete team. And yeah, they had those string of games where they struggled. The injuries kind of hurt them. So that also kind of begs the question of how good are they really if they're not healthy? So are they only as good as healthy as they are healthy? So, but if they're healthy, I don't know who beats them. I just don't know. So, Niners, I gotta go Niners in this one. They just right now they look like the team to beat in both conferences.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. The whole Brock Purdy, I know me and Jake were a little bit waiting for you to come back because we did want to talk about that offense and our thoughts and
I
what
don't
we
know.
feel about Brock Purdy. So we'll save that for a little. But yeah, they pretty much stacked everywhere. I don't think they're not dealing with too many injuries. I think the biggest one was Funga. I don't think he's out for this. Might be. I don't know what his injury is, but I
No,
think he's only
I think
named
he was out.
out for the season.
I want to say he was. I want to say it was
But
like what was his knee or something.
yeah,
It was
I think he
something.
might
It
be
was
out for
something
the season.
major. I think. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's out. I'm not 100% on that, but I thought I recall seeing he was out for good.
No, yeah. I knew he got hurt. I didn't know the severity of it. There's a good chance he was out for the season.
Yeah,
But
I think it
the
is.
Niners, that being your only huge injury,
Yeah,
this has kind of been the best you guys, at least health
just
wise, have been since your
disgusting.
guys' Super Bowl run.
I don't
So
know. It's scary that the fact Christian McCaffrey is just looks as disgusting as he's been.
I really thought he
That's
was
a.
going to be the one that got hurt.
I mean, you expect it just with his track record of injuries. So I mean, I don't blame you. I
His
wouldn't have
track
been
record,
if
his
he
track
got
record,
hurt.
and the Niners.
Yeah, that's true. Especially at running back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I if he got hurt, I'd be like, sounds about right. I was wondering when it was going to happen, but yeah, if he can stay healthy, oh my gosh, him alone he's just a problem because we know Shanahan how he uses running backs, and when you have, you could say the best running back in the league, at least right now for sure, but in prior years when he was healthy, he was RB1 damn near every year almost. It's just the injuries. Just
Yeah,
the injuries.
pretty much.
You you could not say that there was anybody better than him when he was healthy. Now, obviously, he gets hurt, he's out of the conversation, and this year he's proven that when he's healthy, he's just a one-man mission. Can do it by himself.
For all those who played fantasy, I'm pretty sure for like the last 6 years, if I told you McCaffrey's going to stay healthy this season and like you knew it 100%, you're probably picking him number
Oh
one
yeah,
overall every single year. We've
for
seen what he does.
sure,
He
for sure.
was the Panthers' number one receiver and their number one running back. He did everything for that
Dude,
team.
oh man, the
Yeah,
Panthers, healthy Panthers. McCaffrey is like, oh man,
such a wasted
that's
time.
like history books running back right there. Like, you're gonna
So
be telling
good.
your grandchildren about
Yeah. Like
Panthers
25
McCaffrey.
points from McCaffrey on the Panthers was like a bad day. Like I was expecting 30, and you get him getting like 8 receptions, 100 yards, 150 yards scrimmage, and a touchdown. Like
Oh
that's bare
man,
minimum
like
almost.
imagine if he was on the Panthers right now. Oh my gosh,
Oh, he would, yeah, he might snap a
he
leg from
might
unless they have to use him.
he might like quadruple the entire league snap count.
Oh yeah, he would have like
Uh,
300 touches, 400 touches, just a crazy amount.
an insane
And if
amount
he
of touches.
and if he
Oh
was
my
healthy,
god.
the Panthers would might be number one in the division.
Yeah. So
He's that
when
division.
when you can talk about a running back like that, um, and then you add, an elite offensive line, a
Elite playmakers
elite playmakers at every position. You know,
and a top five probably offensive head coach.
yeah,
It's just
yeah, no,
a classic
yeah,
beast.
he's a
Yes.
he's a great coach, and then top one, two defense. That's tough to beat. Um, so I mean, I do want to give credit to Purdy. I don't want to say that it's like he's not good, right? And it's not like he's just getting carried, right? But I also don't want to say that like that team revolves around him because it doesn't. It just doesn't. Um, I don't know. Will come playoffs if he takes him to the Super Bowl. I'll give him credit. I'll I'll say, all right, you did it. I don't know, because I mean we'll see, but the past 3 4 years, playoff games are won off of QB play. I don't know. We'll see what their matchups are. If McCaffrey just destroys every team they go against, I don't know. But to me, I don't know. We'll see because the Niners are a weird team right now. They're the type of team I feel like they could win without Purdy, being able to win the game for them just off of McCaffrey and their defense alone. So I don't know. But
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if I'll put him in that class, even if they go to the Super Bowl. I mean, it's
I mean,
about
I'm not going
general.
to say that he's, I'll give him credit because I definitely
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
down on him. Like, I'm not going to, put him in that high conversation of the elites, but I'll give him credit in terms of like, it wasn't like he got carried.
I be honest, I don't think I have him in my top 10. I get the conversation. I'm definitely not going to call you crazy anymore for putting him in your top 10. But yeah, if they go to the Super Bowl, I mean, Kyle Shanahan brought Jimmy G to the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
look where Jimmy G is now on the bench for one of the worst teams in the league. So it's just that offense.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No,
yeah,
I get it. I mean, I think it goes both ways. Yeah. So, I mean, you have to admit that, like,
yeah.
stat wise, he's leading the
Oh yes,
he's
he's
leading the
playing
league.
amazing,
Yeah.
like out of his mind. I mean, just I think he's
He's he's he's he's just playing clean. He's just playing clean. He doesn't play hero ball. Doesn't have to really. I think that's more so of it. He doesn't have to. I think those 3 games where they lost, he he looked bad because he was having to play hero ball because the injuries and the rest of the team was the injuries around him, so he had to pick up the slack. But when they're healthy, he doesn't have to. All he has to do is play clean, and so the stats will be there because when McCaffrey gets as wide open as he did last week, or you throw him little checkdowns and screens and he goes for 30, 40 yards, it's pretty easy. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I definitely think for the narrative of him, where he came in from the draft, um, I mean, he's definitely one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
great. Yeah, we'll see. Well, he still got a lot of football left to see what he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, this should be a great game.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a
Definitely in
great
that
game.
conversation for game of the year, especially being the headline on Christmas Day. I'm just not hoping for a dud of a game for a blowout,
Yeah,
but like you
hopefully.
said, I think it should be competitive. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on the Ravens. They are number one, but I don't see them as dominant as the nine. I see the Niners.
Yeah,
Like you said, I think some
yeah.
games are just given to them.
They're the
They
one.
still
They're
play
the
great.
number one, but I feel like they're not like the true number one. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
undeniably say that like they're the best team in the AFC. Like they're the team to beat. I mean, I feel like right now, just in terms of how they've been
yeah.
playing and like the schedule,
AFC's weird. I think
yeah, the AFC is in a weird
overall
place right now.
we're a better conference. I think we just have more competitive teams, but like powerhouse teams, I think the NFC owns it right now. Just Cowboys, Eagles, Niners.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, they just look like they all could be contenders, but only one can make it from there.
yeah,
So, and right now, the Niners are the best of those three,
yeah.
record wise. So, I'll
I
bet on
mean,
them. But
we know at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is playoffs. So, like the thing that I think that I'm looking at is, yeah, the Chiefs have been struggling, but come playoff time,
Patrick
we
Mahomes.
know they are a playoff team.
Yeah.
They are a playoff dominant team. So that's what scares me with the Ravens is that once it comes playoff time, everything regular season goes out the door, and all it takes is one game, and you're done.
Yeah.
So
That's football. But yeah.
yeah,
I think that pretty much. I got nothing left from that game. Just I'm excited for that one.
yeah, should
Definitely
be
game of the year.
definitely a good one to watch. Definitely a nice little Christmas present, Christmas Day game.
Yeah, especially after having to watch the Eagles Giants game. Yeah, that's a real nice present to get.
Oh man, it's gonna be if DeVito wins that game, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh my
Oh my gosh.
So just plan to do your gift giving and
Oh
your dinners
man.
during the Eagles game so
The
that you can be on the
Eagles.
couch and enjoy it.
Oh man.
Yeah, Jake's gonna have a rough week.
Jake's gonna be
Really rough
pulling his
Christmas if
hair
they
out, man.
lose.
Oh yeah. Jake, if you're watching this, I got your mailing address and you're getting something in the mail. You can't hide from me anymore.
Nice.
You can't escape me now, Jake. Yeah, he's trying to wouldn't give me his address, and I went and got it anyway. Sucker. But
Little sketchy. But, yeah.
well, that's gonna wrap up our predictions for this week. We're probably gonna just kind of call it here, get ready for the holidays, and take a little break. Um, Probably be back. I don't know. We'll have to talk and see if we do for the New Year's weekend, or if we just want to maybe wait until the holidays are over. But we'll at least be taking Christmas off and um, Christmas Eve and Christmas, and we'll kind of just maybe put some Instagram posts out there, just to maybe get like some quick reaction, maybe of the good games and stuff, not like everything, but um, yeah, we'll put something out there. But yeah, we will not be recording a full video for the Sunday reactions. But uh, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, check out all the socials. Um, Hit us up, throw us some comments, let us know if there's stuff you guys want to see, topics you want to hear about, and just what you guys think about the season, and maybe some playoff predictions, stuff like that. Who you guys got in the Super Bowl? You know, just football stuff. Give us a shout out, and we'll hit you back. But yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's if we don't see you guys, and we'll catch you. Shoots.
Shoots.